of all, I want to say how wonderful it is to see faces that we have not seen in a long time in here with us today. And it's wonderful. I have the honor to bring our story to the present and to share perhaps where we will be going in the future once we have left this building. With Karen's departure, we engaged the Reverend Ed Brock to serve as our interim minister. And it stands to reason that no two interim ministries are alike because of the many variables that affect both the congregation and the minister. That said, President Mary Lundholm, the Board of Trustees, the congregation, and the staff, I think we all anticipated that we would begin a typical interim ministry. Not long, and in many respects the year started that way. Reverend Ed asked us to question our assumptions and expectations with particular focus on our organization and our policies. Very early, I was looking back, I was the recorder in that year, in early 2012, and Ed reported that a person had come to the church expressing an interest in purchasing the building. By the February board meeting, we were in discussions with realtors, potential buyers, and attorneys as to the sale of this property and the purchase of a new site. The following scene from the movie Shakespeare in Love ran through my head more than a few times during the last 6 months. It takes place between Philip Henslow, played by Jeffrey Rush in the movie, and Hugh Fenneman, played by Tom Wilkinson. Philip Henslow begins. Mr. Fenneman, allow me to explain the theater business, or in our case, the moving a church business. The natural condition is one of insurmountable obstacles on the road to imminent disaster. Mr. Fenneman replies, so what do we do? Nothing. Strangely enough, it all turns out well. How? I don't know. It's a mystery. At the height of our legal maneuverings, in which there were 3 attorneys representing Orange Coast OCUUC Church, the seller, and the mortgage lender based in Florida, as well as a bankruptcy court judge, all of whom were involved in proceedings which we did not have access to, Reverend Ed and I had a very similar conversation, with Ed, like Philip Henslow, portraying the non-anxious presence. His calm approach to this process, and I believe his understanding of the importance of this opportunity to Orange Coast OCUUC Church, were crucial to its success. I believe that the most significant moment in the past 18 months, and perhaps even longer, was the courageous decision by this congregation to sell this property, its beloved home, without knowing whether the purchase of Mesa Verde was a certainty. Truly, it was a leap of faith. Of course, rather than doing nothing, there were many, many people involved to make sure that it all turned out well. The site committee members who have been there every step of the way, from the initial contact to the architectural drawings that you can see in the social hall. The Board of Trustees, who at one stretch were having what we were calling the weeklies, as we were meeting on a weekly basis. The people who showed up at every town hall meeting, every congregational meeting, to gather the necessary information to make informed decisions for the future of this church. And the talented professionals that we've hired to guide us along the way. The backdrop to all of this activity, of course, was the day-to-day, week-to-week life of a church community. There were worship services, the choir rehearsed and sang, the AIDS team ministry prepared and delivered meals. The caring ministry informed us of the welfare of members and friends. We shared the loss of loved ones, of jobs and homes, and shared the joy of healing, the birth of children, and new employment. Children deepened their connections in RE classrooms and on the playground. There were seasonal festivals hosted by the Covenant of UU Pagans, lunch bunch with the young adults, the women's group, and all church weekends at the Venerable Pines. We filled the church coffers and our social calendars at the goods and services auctions. We connected with each other on the patio, on Facebook, through the blast, the reach, and the website. We welcomed visitors, we made new friends, and we ate cake with new members. And so we gather here tonight, almost halfway through this interim year, saying a fond farewell to Victoria. And what is the future of OCUUC at our new home at 2845 Mesa Verde East? Is that our new church home will not present the physical limitations that this congregation has said has inhibited its growth and its influence in the wider community. I anticipate that once we do move, we might need a short period of recollection, reuniting with those who are now on the periphery, waiting for us to move into our new space. I look forward to hearing what you see as you peer into the future. With a settled minister, we will all share in the articulation of our common future. When I peer into the future, this is what I see. I see us grow as we find for ourselves and for those who have yet to walk through our doors the opportunities to put values into action. We learned from Justice GA this year that we do not have to lead on all social justice issues, but we do have to open our eyes and our hearts, educate ourselves, forge bonds, make commitments, and work together. I see people of all ages in a new courtyard on a Sunday morning, the eldest and the youngest among us sharing the same space. I see friends, family, co-workers, classmates, and strangers who have been enthusiastically invited to visit, where they will be greeted warmly and asked to share a meal after the service. I see rituals, district assemblies, and youth cons. I see concerts, lectures, and interfaith gatherings. I see us in a church campus with a large sanctuary, ample parking, classrooms, and office space. And in that location, I see us seeking truth, building just communities, and caring for one another. If there is one message that has run through the Victoria testimonials, those memories of OCUUC that have been shared on Sunday mornings, it is that the people, their shared experiences, and the relationships that have developed within these walls that people remember fondly. And so it will be in our new home. The next chapter of OCUUC's story will be written in our new home by the people who are there. And we will always remember that the story started here. Thank you.
Could our ushers come forward at this time to receive this evening's offering?